Hi guys, today I figured I would show everybody how I made my polymer clay rose. Being that the original one is just pictures, the reason it was in pictures is because of course I have long nails and I didn't want to get my nails in the way, but I figured there's people having trouble creating the actual rose, so I figured I'd show you how to do it. I'm starting out with some Sculpey clay. It's today I'm using translucent because I couldn't find my other one. I have several, but I just couldn't find them. Let's see whether it was transparent or the black. So I went with the transparent for today. As you can see, it comes in a brick, and you have to condition it. So that's what I've been doing, conditioning my clay by kneading it. It's very simple to make this flower. Basically, I mean, the one that I'm going to be making is going to be a small one, so you could see that. Take like a pea size, and in the middle of my fingers, I kind of flatten it out into a little disc. Alright, then basically all I do is take the corner and I start rolling it. As you can see, I pinch the bottom, then I take these little edges here and I roll them back. Let me see. Now for the next petal, take another pea size. I shape it into like another pea size in my hand. That might be a little too big. And I just flatten it randomly into a little disc. I make the outer edges here thinner. So now what I do is, right here where the center is, where the opening is, I put that in the center. Okay? And then what I'm doing also is keeping it level. So I wrap these edges around the perimeter of the rose bud, and you'll get this effect. So now to give it more of a petal look, I like to take the edges and curl them back on itself. So this is what you're starting to get. I'm going to take another piece of clay. Again, pea size. This clay, I tried to condition it better, but I guess I could have done a better job. It's still on the little hard side. I'm just trying to get it done as fast as possible. Okay, so now you see I haven't particularly made any round exact shape. It's all random. So again, like I said, the thin side along the edge. Now here's the opening, so you always try and overlap your opening. Now as you see, this is completely straight up. It's up to you to create your petals by bending them back a little bit, pinching it, curling it a little bit. And we're coming along. Now these polymer flowers that I've been making for many years, You use them to decorate earrings, jewelry, picture frames, whatever little accessories you want to add a little flower to. Now this one, go. Always overlap by half or a third from the previous petal. Again, you see my profile. And you just bend back your little petals, pinching. And as I go along, I squeeze the bottom here. Always keeping my petals kind of flush. As you can see, I'm using my thumbs, not my fingertips. I'm using this part of my fingers to do it. Clearly because I have long nails. And yes, you can do anything with long nails. It's just a matter of picking a different spot on your fingers. Instead of the balls of your fingers, you pick the bottom part of your fingers. This part, not the tip, but the bottom. So I've just added another petal. And as you see, as I go along, I like to squeeze it and shape it. Making another disc. I like to go thin around the edges, not so, doesn't matter so much in the middle. Any random shape, as you see. Take it, overlap the last petal. Pinching the edges. We'll take another little piece. You can see the stem is getting long, but we're going to be cutting that. I'm going around the perimeter, working that, and then I can come in the center. Again, any random shape. I'll put some here where it looks like it needs a little bit more. You can see I'm placing the edge even with the last petal. And then I come and I start pinching the edges. Pinching the stem area. We're almost done with our rose. Now with these polymer clays, they all have their individual instructions. So you can just follow the instructions on your package. And if you don't have polymer clay, you can use air dry clay, any kind of clay, whatever you can shape into these petals. Now, if you want to make your own clay, you can take a plain piece of white bread, remove the crust, use a tablespoon of Aleene's tacky glue. It's going to be very, very messy. I like to play with it. I usually take the bread, put it on my hand, put the glue in the middle of the clay, and just knead it. It is the biggest mess, but it comes out to be just like this. And if you do have it, make your own clay. You can actually use acrylic paint and put it in the center of your clay. Let's say this is a ball of clay that like this. Put a little dab of color in there and knead it, and you'll get the most amazing clay. And it dries, air dries, just like this would. I've used a lot of that clay before I started using this one. So here, coming to the end of our rose, as you can see, pinching back the corners again, the edges. You can look at real flowers and you'll get the idea. Okay, so that pretty much does it for this rose as far as its shape. Like I said, I'm pinching it, and the more you pinch it, it kind of opens up, it makes it even prettier. Now for the stem part, I kept pinching it, so I'm just going to grab a scissor really quick and cut that piece off. I don't have my crafting scissors, so I'm just going to use my thread snipper. So what you do is, if you want to make this flat, you just snip it off, and there you have it, your little rose. That you can use on anything. Now this I made a little bigger so you could see. Alright, now I think I might have something here that I've actually created with it. One moment, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I actually did find one of the little items I did make with the roses. This is a little, I don't know what you call it, a little piece of wood that I made many years ago. This is actually, as you can see, this is the bread dough. That is very, 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 very old. I usually date my things, but this one I didn't date. But this is very, very, very old, like I said. And they're hard. The color was created with acrylic paint. So I drew the little flowers, painted the little flowers, and it's just a little magnet for a refrigerator or something. But I thought it was cute. Now again, to reiterate, this is the glue that you use for creating these flowers with just a plain slice of white bread. When you're done, it will look like this, your bread and your glue. And again, like I said, if you want to make different color roses like I've done here, you open up your dough, put a little bit of acrylic in here, you close it up like a little pocket, and you just knead it. It'll get a little messy because you're getting color on your fingers, but it's okay, especially if you get this. And I'm telling you, this is many, 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 many years old. And you can see how little they are. I mean, look at my finger next to it. Alright, so being that you can make it that small, you can convert it into earrings. Just buy some jewelry findings. These are flat backs where you can actually take an earring, a rose, and glue it to the back of a post. And then you get yourself the little earring backs to it. I also would suggest, or could suggest, oops, you could take, these are acrylic rings that I got on Fire Mountain Gems or something like that. You can use one of these acrylic rings, and after you flatten this out a little bit more, I would probably cut more if I want to put something this chunky on a ring, but you could adhere that onto a ring, make it into a nice ring. These are my acrylic rings that I make out of acrylic, the same as I've made these 3D sculpting on my nails. So like I said, these things you could find on, the plain ones you could find on Fire Mountain Gems. They have a variety of different shapes. They don't come in clear, I wish they did, or black, or something neutral where you can actually design more fun flowers on them that you could just do a variety of things on it. So while I'm here, I'll show you my other flowers. You might notice I love flowers. This is why I'm always trying to do things with flowers. I might try and teach you how to do these at one point. It's just that being it's so small and little, it's kind of difficult to get it in view. But again, Fire Mountain Gems, Aleene's glue, random jewelry findings. You can take these and put it around a frame. Say this is your frame or something. You can glue all around the edge, or if you have something that needs a little decorating or a little memento, necklace, you could use these. I hope this has been helpful, and I've demystified how I do it, and you try it. Again, with this rose, you can take and make your leaves. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger for you, just so you can see. What you do is you make a little bead, you pinch the edges like this. I'm making it big just so you could see. And I usually use a needle, but for right now I'll just use this, and you just press an indentation down the center. This would be in green. I hope you could see that. And you would just take these little leaves and you would just put it to the bottom of your roses. And the way you would attach it is just by pressing it in, which you could see here. Alright guys, I hope you've enjoyed it again. and you try making them. I hope I've demystified how to create them. Now, as I said before, your polymer clay has its own instructions, so you will follow that. And again, if you're using the bread dough flours, you just let them air dry. If you're going to be using for jewelry, after these have set up, or these, you can take some E6000, I think it is, or hot glue, and hot glue it to your jewelry findings. If it's going to get a lot of wear and tear, then I would suggest the stronger glue, not the tacky glue. I mean, not the hot glue, only because then it might tend to come off. Alright, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this, leave me comments and questions. Share it with your friends, rate it, and leave me questions. And I'll try and get back to you. Thank you.